just want to talk about getting started with our um, color wheels and design. If you're going to do something where it's like a one particular piece of pie out of the entire color wheel, so what I'm asking you to do is design one piece of the color wheel pie. It's a little hard to get that angle started. So while I was sitting down thinking about how I'm going to make a piece of pie, I'm thinking what I'm going to have to do is take a circle and I'm going to draw a line straight through the circle. I'm going to make sure that this is aligned. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this line and rotate it. So I'm going to go to the rotate tool, double click on it, and I'm going to copy this and hit Command D as in dog a couple times till you have all your pieces. And the reason why I'm doing this is so that when you create your single piece of pie, it'll actually be the right size to fit in with all the others. It's hard to kind of decipher this exact angle here is 30 degrees when you're drawing something with the pen tool to make that 30 degrees. So just to make sure we get that right, I'm going to divide all this up. So we're going to go find our Pathfinder tools for, actually they're right here. And I'm going to divide that, ungroup it. And now I can get rid of all the pieces if I ungroup this properly, except for the one. Okay, so I'm going to keep one off to the side. And now I have my 1 unit shape that I'm going to work from. And I'm going to scale this so I have more room to work on it. Scale it up. I'm holding the shift key so I don't lose my angle because this was the important angle, and if I didn't divide up the circle, I'm not sure if there's a way I can get this angle to be just right. Now, when I create my designs, I'm going to be working directly inside this shape. So now you can figure out what you want to draw and put into these shapes. Like if I wanted to turn, I'm thinking that I'm going to turn this into some kind of piece of the inside of like a lime or a lemon or something like that, that I'm going to start drawing my seeds and do that kind of stuff as well. Okay, so that's how one of the ways you can get started with this project. And this is where you might want to get out your color theme window or perhaps your color guide window, because this will make it a lot easier for you to put different shades of your color inside your beautiful design that you just made. And I do want you to use a quite a bit of variation of shades and tints of your color. Shades is the dark and tints are the lights. So variation is key here. We'll do a little bit of that there. And then the major color should be front and center, and then other lighter and darker versions of that should be around it. And what I'm going to do is take the stroke off of all of this once I'm done picking all my different colors here. This one looks a little too close to some of the other colors, so I'm going to modify that. Maybe it'll be like a lighter color. It's a little too close to the other one. Okay, maybe something like this should work. So now I'm going to select all of it, and I do not want to have a stroke on this for my design. And this one seems a little bit too close to the other colors, so I'm just going to make a slight variation on that one. And I think I want this to be a much darker version of the color because that'll like frame my color wheel a little bit. And once you have your design done, and you can see I did this really quickly, so I don't know how in love I am with this design. I'm going to group it, and then I can make it back to being a size that's going to fit on our paper. And then I will use the rotate tool, and I will option click right on this point here, and when I type in 30 and hit copy, because I made this the right size to begin with, I'm able to do this. Okay, now I have my design, which looks kind of cool, and if I want to make a variation of the color, so I'll leave yellow at the top, this one here is going to need to be a little bit toward the red or toward blue, depending on which way I'm going to work. So now I'm going to go to the recolor button at the top that we spoke about in class and on the videos. And now I'm going to recolor the artwork by clicking on the word edit in this window. And you have to make sure this is linked so that now when I move this, and this is actually a color wheel here, so I'm going to move this about 30 degrees on here, and now that is all of the yellow-green. And then I'll click OK, and then I have to do the same thing. So now I have the next group, which is why it's grouped, and I go up here, and I'll go to edit again, I will unlink it, and this is a lot easier than hand picking your colors. Now I'm going to go straight green, okay, and then I click back on this, and you might find that you have to adjust your colors. This yellow-green might be a little too green right now, but I'm just going to try to get through this so you guys can see how this is working. And now I'm going to go to a, oh, I didn't have it linked. So that's what happens when you have it linked. It only changes to one color. So let's cancel that. And then I'll go back in. So I'm glad I did that so you can see what that means. So I'm clicking on edit, and you have to click on the linking every time. And now we can move that all the way over till we get the blue-green. And then my next one's blue. So you can see how this works around. And I think that's all I'm going to show you now because it's just going to get really redundant. Okay, once again, I didn't link it. Duh, Miller, back in. And here we go. Okay, linked.